What's that hat poking out of the corner? In fact, what's that voice? That wasn't here before. The answer might surprise you. It me. Hello, Neptune and Odd Wrestler. Auburn speaks. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first stream in quite a while. Hello, Yuka. I have a lot to catch up on, but the first thing that you might notice is the new PNGtuber model that I installed. I'll talk about it in some more detail soon, because I'm very proud of how it came out. I also got this TTS add-on for on-stream chat to try tonight. It's called VTS Pog, which I've been meaning to try for a while. I was slightly nervous about trying this for a few reasons. One being, it's very different from just text chat, where you might imagine how I talk. And imagine my dialect having certain speed, or intonation, etc. Then you hear a voice bank speaking for me, and naturally, it has its own quirks. It pauses a little bit more than I would when I greet somebody, or the tone's different than my intent. Or the volume's off or something even after I check. Speaking of, let me know if it's too loud or quiet. The other reason is simply because it's a new thing. You know how it is. Hello, Loogie. It's good to see you. So with new things, I always consider this an experiment at first, and simply give it a try. It's my usual way of getting into new things, starting small, generally. Right? It's so much of a whiplash from what I've been doing. I can get comfortable with it as I get more experience with it. I felt some of that while testing over the past few weeks, even just today. And I'll probably have more adjustments to make later on when I get better at using this thing. With that said, I have been away for a few weeks. I've been streaming non-stop for a long time, and I needed to rest and recuperate a small amount after university, too. While I was away, I also started working on some new upgrades and projects. In fact, I had an idea for how to talk about everything. So I decided that I'd try a special just chatting segment tonight. While we're on the train of new things, let's do some science and see how this works. TF. I had the idea to do this after seeing a post by Baru Izumi, a friend of Pahi's. I think that she talked about emotes and statistics as well, but I'm not very good with statistics, so I might spare that to an extent. And by spare that, I won't be talking about that myself. But I will talk about accomplishments that I've done over the previous year, as well as my next goals. So I did a lot last year. I started learning how to make prints, for one. Right at the start, no less. I was working on an art store at the time, but then got distracted by life happening. Especially university things in autumn. And I was still streaming then. I also started PNGtubing properly last year. I made a new stream schedule. I did a PNGtuber model. I actually had that idea for a while, since I made the drawing 4 months before. I impulsively toyed with it during April, and put it live as a test. That is true, Puck. I'm very proud of this. And then it stuck. That model, I loved a lot. And I'll keep it around if I feel like using it again. Who knows? It could make its way into 3D someday if that happens. Oh, that is true. This is new, in a lot of ways, isn't it? Even though this is a lot of polishing of my very first idea as well. If I remember to talk about that, I will, but I will say. This is what I was somewhat drifting towards to begin with. Lol. But aside from that, I did some other smaller things, too. I won an award for an international illustration contest entry. I submitted Dynamic Duo for contest number 39, themed around music. Thank you so much. I didn't mention it a whole lot, I guess, but Celsius did a contest, and I got a random award, I think? It was called a Challenger Award, if memory serves. That said, Celsius isn't on Blue Sky, so that's probably the last one that I'll do for a while. Yes, That's exactly what it is. Thank you. It's just as well because that means more time for projects closer to me. For example, more content for the Necrodancer mod that I made. It's not much, but I added the water torch, a blaster, dragonite armor, and that spiral spell. And then I'd been thinking ever since about making an art book for my ND mod sprites. Possible goal this year, we'll see. That plus the other mods that I added to, I could maybe do that with. Ooh, new plans for you, too? Those sound. VLC? Hang on. Oh, gosh, what the heck? Okay, pause and restart. Unexpected technical difficulties. Okay, here, how about the other one? That is true. We need some scuff here. We need problems. We need things to go wrong. This did not happen at all when I was testing this week. Well, this is awkward. It's still happening. Let me check my programs. Maybe I reset VLC. Good luck, Loogie. Okay, starting VLC again. Starbound songs work fine. The longer playlists might be having trouble with BTS Pop. Let me see. do you know what else it might be? Gifts. Yep, I had a feeling when it was stuttering on Impress earlier. I didn't think that it'd go as far as pulping other programs. Goodness. Omegalol. I put her on another slide, so I'll need to do that again later. Sorry, Vina. But as I was going to say before that interruption, I did finalize my own design this last year. For a long time, I was trying to get towards, wondering which, but my ideas didn't quite fit perfectly for a while. And then I had some ideas at the start of the year, toyed with them later, and then came up with something nice. And now I am glad. Aside from that, I did some commissions and an art raffle. With limited prior experience, I consider that a good milestone. There was Goose's mod. I made the Hephaestus bestiary image. There was a cadence wave emote that I made. And then for a chat member, you guessed it, I did an art raffle. Thank you so much, by the way. I'm happy to hear that. I did some things for myself, too, especially some new emotes. Auburn SIP wasn't technically in 2024, but it was just before I went on hiatus, so I'm counting it. PNGtuber was good as well. I like drawing and so I had a good outlet then. And I did a lot of arts at the time, which is something that I like doing. It's the usual, make the most of my time, in play, so I go mental on art on some months. And what you see now is my latest big thing, the Wandering Witch PNGtuber project that I completed. I did this over the course of November and some of December. I set it up over January, and put a lot of attention into it. In fact, I'll tell you a little bit more about it, officially. So there's a lot of expressions that this model has. On Stream Chat uses expressions via manually added phrases. They're added dynamically over time, depending on how I expect to reach while saying certain things. So I might say, let me make a note of that, and there's the sketchbook one. You saw me say, earlier, and there's one for that. I like that one. Sometimes I say, sweet baby Beelzebub, and look surprised. Or if I'm very surprised, I say, whoa, or the like. Well, depending on how I say it. What the heck might work if I remember. There it is. And the TTS compatibility is via BTS POG. So what I did was assign it to a certain voice and now I speak. There were a lot of options, so I spent a good amount of time just on that. Either way, I can now switch between my usual non-TSS mode with sound effects played for messages, and TTS mode that talks and syncs my animation with when it's making sound. It still has a few slight quirks. I can't seem to do non-text things easily without it sounding funny, such as, let's see. My usual text emotes. Sometimes I use this one. Carrot, carrot. Lol. I talked to the developer about it, and they say that they're working on a thing to omit Twitch emoji. And I presume other text emotes as well. So expect the occasional, at it, or carrot carrot, when I type. Carrot, carrot. Do you like carrot carrots as much as I do, chat? I like carrot carrots. Corn corn and peas peas are also nice. I have a haphazard fix for exactly one thing. Type laughing. It would feel odd if the TTS said just ha 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 with that very neutral, deadpan voice. So I can set one set of things up to one set of a filtered output, which is, lol. Lol. Again, it's clunky and not perfect, but it'll do nicely. Overall, until I'm comfortable going on mic, and whenever I need a backup afterwards, this will do nicely. And as the slide shows, you can find these through the links in the chat command. I'm not much of a technomancer, so it took some time to puzzle through setting it up. It was worth it. I still have the regular OSC, which I might also update the chat dudes for. That'll be nice for maybe art sessions, depending on how I feel. For that mode, I'd like to do something more akin to a dialogue box, like Lunar Lux or some of those VN dialogues. I played a few of those during the Autumn Toho Fan Game Jam. And then I'll also tell you about myself. This is especially for anybody new, but I'm a wandering witch who enjoys indie games and Toho. I consider myself very analytical, and I'm somewhat of a jack of trades and generally a fast learner. I know Japanese as a second language to a good extent. I don't recall what level I'm on officially, but I studied for nearly 4 years at university. As you know, I'm also an artist. I do a lot of OC drawings, sprites for game mods, and the like. On top of that, I'd like to make my own manga stories once I have time to properly pick it up. By the way, I did choose my name with some serious intent. I was thinking about this a while ago, after a fun conversation went around on Blue Sky calling for people to explain their names. Auburn is my reddish hair color, and made for a cute-sounding name. It's something like what you'd see in some good apple juice. Lol. Given my analytical personality and wandering witch theme, I liked Arcana as a surname for its magical, mysterious tone. Some varying combinations later, and I settled for Auburn Arcana. I was very happy with the decision. It seemed like something that would be memorable and fun sounding. With some much wanted personality to it, of course. I don't have a centralized design sheet for this yet, but it's a plan for in the future. And I also have a shadow yokai OC. I can't type it correctly with the U because TTS mispronounces it. Like, listen, yokai versus yokai. You are not Kai, by the way, unless you are. Kai is a gravity circuit character. In any case, this OC manifested after numerous mountain climbs and cave excursions. I never had a better name than Alter come to mind, but perhaps one day. Personality-wise, she's very on the fiercely guarded side, if you know Celeste. Fun fact. I like shields a lot, so she naturally took that on, too. If not wands, I would have done shields. also don't have a design sheet for her yet, so here's a sketch page and a sprite. She might get her own PNGtuber model in the future, after I've gotten my 3D one and upgraded from this. Speaking of, I hope that the voice isn't too grating. I'm not very good at choosing one. Carrot. But I can imagine it being fun to have her do TTS things, take quick notes, or talk to chat. I can also talk to myself for goofiness. Before I go on, I do have a few other notes. Much of how I've kept track of my art-related accomplishments this year was thanks to my project log notepad. I used it when I did my art summary in December. So I'll continue logging my projects the same way as last year. It's a nice habit. I had a lot of projects that I liked this year, which helped me a lot development-wise. A year is a long period of time, so this doesn't represent each individual week or even month by a long shot. Hello, Fraxtals. It's good to see you. By the way, is the VLC audio still stuttering? I have a feeling that it is. This might be a little bit much for the PC now that I'm putting BTS Pog on this. Monkus. It's fine, right? I'll check Process Hacker and see if I can adjust something. Maybe reduce VTS's priority? And raise VLCs, should fix it. Again, not a stream without Scuff. They both have the letter S, so they go hand in hand. And they're both less than 10 characters long. That's close enough to being similar. As I was saying, I did a lot of personal accomplishments last year, too. I got my driver's license after life happening. I completed my bachelor's degree at the university. I'm getting adept with Japanese. I finished the actual art courses quite a while before, and I think that I got some general experience that I retain from there. Otherwise, being forgetful, I don't quite so easily retain things such as terminology, or specific practices, color theory, placements. I play it by ear a lot, in short. And I blame that one on something akin to my poor sense of measurement, hey. Hey, TTS, that ain't no hey that I ever heard of. Lol. And otherwise, I mostly figured out what I want to do after university. And it involves being right here. I'm in a stable position right now, and so I can give myself time to try this for a while and see where it goes. That said, I do keep my eyes on things. I still remember those work in Japan things that Sensei shared. And otherwise, I'm getting decent at time management. That's something that I'll talk about later. Okay, the stuttering's getting rough. I'm going to do this song. Here, this one, Starbound's nice. Oh, goodness. Sorry about this. D. Oh, I know what it is. Hey, Vina, you're hogging my RAM. At. Stop that. I like you, but I need some RAM, too. Lol. It could also just be Impress itself. I don't use this program much. Let me try closing Steam and see if that helps. Right, I'm still on my same PC setup, so I need to be a little bit careful. it's still stuttering, and I'm not doing much else. You'd think that testing off-stream would be enough. But that'll probably be something that I look into this year. I have a lot of future projects and goals. Some are smaller, some are bigger. They're not necessarily over the year, more so, what's up next? Hello, Misha. I am attempting to try a new TTS thing here, but it's either this or Impress that's slightly much. Carrot. I did. New model. I was talking about it a moment ago, and there's a good amount on this one. Carrot. Exactly. I also like apples. Gamer. Thank you, Misha. I might need to close out of a few other things. Hold on. Oh, a part of it is LibreOffice, by the way. It's taking a half of a gigabyte of RAM. Holy heck. You know what? Here, have lower priority. Now things are no longer stuttering. I like this program, but I didn't expect that to happen. Now where were we? I have a lot of future plans, and they're not necessarily over the year. For smaller ones, I have a good number of those. I have 3 empty animated emote slots that I want to fill out on Twitch if I can. I'd like to update older emotes as well. I've needed to use paid Auburn Wave for a while. I currently have multiple, 2 on Twitch, and want to clean up the clutter from prior attempts at Wave. have an idea in mind for that, so it should be easy once I get to it. Auburn Arcana is also worth updating as well, I think. Remaking some transition screens might be fun. I like still having a recent art piece put up, as it naturally cycles the scene with relative ease. It helps to keep things fresh when I don't always have energy or ideas for other things. That is true, Misha. I still have to actually do the things, but I can spread them out and not try to cram too much. With that said, I also like the idea of having something on brand and consistent. There are a lot of streamers who have already, done that. Emotes aside, I did make a cursor pack a while ago for myself. I didn't do much after the fact, and simply kept them around without adding much else. I do like the Kuridan set, but I would like to improve on it. You don't always see my wand cursor overly easily on screen when it's there. Too small, plus when it's on non-white backgrounds. And then maybe I'll consider sharing it in some capacity. Where I'm at now, I have a better sense of what I might want to add, and how to format the sprites. At least for what it's worth, not having worked with cursors for a long time since. Or much at all. Other actual stream-related things would include the alert box. I would like to try something more customized. Streamlabs is serviceable and could be updated with some new assets. Crohn's things are another option, but I might try Streamlabs first. Plus those are in the chat box itself already. When somebody follows or subs or raids or something. New about page panels, I was considering doing this month. It's relatively quite small, so I could sit down one night and simply do it. It's nice to dust things off. Plus the art stream scene, I need to update. That forest-themed one is a slight amount outdated by now, and I'd like to think of some new way to improve on it. Just remaking it might be enough. I'm still taking commissions as well, but not advertising or anything. I also still remember anybody who has a standing art raffle prize. You know who you are. So I am still doing them. Otherwise, I'm mainly focusing a lot on my own projects and trying to get better with them. This won't be a major priority until it simply happens in the course of other things, such as NeoCities. And then lastly, more donation incentives would be nice. I like to try to give back to people. I'm not sure exactly what I'd do yet. Currently, on Ko-Fi, it just opens up a non-Discord way to see WIPs. And Blue Sky is a way anyway, so that one is very mundane overall. I'd need to think about it more, but, again, I want to keep it sustainable and give back to people. Maybe things like that cursor pack. Maybe wallpapers. Maybe other digital things. And for bigger projects, these are what I'll focus on a lot more. The art store is in progress still, and I was working on it some of last and this week. I'm trying something smaller scale with the art store, and starting with some relatively non-time sensitive things. I'm looking into how to do the logistics part, and I'm getting my notes together. I won't have it up perpetually at this time, as I'd like to get my bearings first. So I'll probably do what Pokey does and have it up for a period at a time. By saying all of that, hopefully I'll actually keep working on it this week. Afterwards, I'll try to explore more merch ideas. Think things such as keychains or desk mats or the like. And yes, I might make some Toho arts to use as well. I'd need to plan out which ones. As for NeoCities, I've been interested, but haven't done it yet. It would be a good place for an About Me, links, even the contact form. WordPress is very dusty and at this point, completely unused beyond the form. I'm not eager about going back there, as there's a good amount of clutter there. I'm also not eager about some of the features that they added. I've said it before about things, and I'll say it again. You lost me at AI. That said, NeoCities has a lot of potential, and it gives me a chance to learn something new to make it. HTML, I've done a very limited number of times. Squarespace. That one, I haven't heard about before. But that might do it, too. That was words, but I'll give NeoCities a try. And then this next one is probably very important because of what you heard earlier with the audio. Ooh, good luck with the site. I might end up doing that as well for science. I put a 3D model and a PC upgrade together because I'm pushing my PC to the limit as is, with OSC, OBS. And of course either CSP or gaming, all at once. And now VTS POG, at least as an experiment tonight. You too, Puck? I learned it for the first time in high school. And then never used it. Oops. So my PC usage is probably compounded by a lot of other things as well. Steam widgets, Discord, variable others. It creates a very noticeable difference from when I'm not streaming. At decent quality and 60 FPS, mind. My current RAM is 8 GB, if that helps paint a picture. If it doesn't compromise performance, this might also mean higher stream quality. More bitrate, MAAB 1080p. LOL. Borderline experimental. Oh, it didn't like when I tested it earlier. And said some very unhinged things like scrambled letters and 101 letter. Or a big number. Actually, TTS is very good at reading numbers. Listen, chat, this is good. 1,234,567,890. It even handled that with more digits. Like, quinhexasatin billion or something. All of that said, the PC upgrade will be when I can afford it. It'll work nicely as a personal goal after I do what I'm focusing on right now. And then after my other things, I'll want to write more manga. Realistically after at least just the art store, but I'm not sure yet. I want to be in a situation where distractions won't stop me from writing the stories that I want to. Which is why I'm telling myself to focus on projects that I've been excited to do. And that chat has been excited to see. I've also come across ideas since last year, ways to write better, ways to write more efficiently. I'll spare the details, because it's a lot. Things like writing out an entire character story, fleshing it out. Doing the same for multiple others and being willing to write separate stories. A Japanese translation would be excellent as well. I have the skills to do it myself. I'll probably hold off on doing until after I've made the first N chapters. Not to leave people in the dust or anything, but I do want to pick up on the arting and writing to a comfortable level first. I'll talk more about the Japanese thing soon. Oh. Again, borderline experimental setup today. But a lot of how I'll do this overlaps with my year's resolutions. So I'll talk about some of those as well. I haven't made any list to share of my resolutions, like what Pahi did, but I might experiment with that format someday. Much of this boils down to taking care of myself better. More personal goals, more time management habits, more better myself habits. Taking breaks, I often forget to do, out of interest in getting things done. I've been getting better at that. I learned a Pomodoro technique from my tutor job. X period of work, Y period of short break. They mentioned 25 minutes, 5 minutes, just as examples. Yokara has a habit of that, but with 2 hours of work, 1 hour of a break. She focuses on the break so that she gets the schedule in mind and can set herself to work during work time. I don't know how I'll do it myself, but given how constant I am with work, perhaps I'll do what Yoku does. I'm also trying to get better at focus and Gantt priorities. I maintain momentum well if I stay on top of a specific thing until it's done. That current thing right now is that art store. There's a surprising amount to do, that I don't want to get distracted from. Amazing. I might adjust my weekly stream habits. I want to make sure that I have good time both for stream and for art. So maybe fewer segments per week, or single segment streams. Essentially, I'll try to make the streams more concentrated, doing more in a given session, giving myself more evening time. Oh my gosh, the music is still rough. Sorry about that. So on a similar more drawing time for myself. I'll still do art streams, make no mistake. But I listed this because oh how I managed time at university. There, my daytime was often spent between coursework and other non-drawing activities, so I need to actively keep this in mind. Essentially, I'll let myself draw more freely. I won't force myself to specific times. Which ironically goes well against the idea of time blocking that I talked about from time to time. Some people do benefit from that, though. Specific times, specific weekdays, for specific kinds of work. I'm not quite the most organized with my to-do list at this time, so this is A. Maybe if I need it. Another resolution of mine is to make time for hobbies. Things like studying Japanese, reading manga. I could learn technomancy more, make music, if I get Florida studio. Wait, how did it say technomancy? Hold on. Oh, okay, that's normal. Having Lua would be phenomenal. I did learn some of it recently. Actually, I was working on my Necrodancer mod on and off in the past few days. I fixed a few things and actually did use that programming in Lua book online. It worked. I do have retro gadgets, too. And modding games can count towards hobbies, as well as playing some personal games. Essentially, I want to try to not burn myself out by putting too much on my plate. Which is why I am emphasizing experimental on today's stream. Carrot, carrot. Carrot, carrot. Insert rabbit sounds here. Otherwise, I'm going to keep studying Japanese. Essentially what I mentioned before. I have a few methods. I have Genki and Tabira books, plus online resources. Cool pronunciation, TTS. Little do we know, chat. TTS was thinking about Cave Story. It got confused while thinking about Yenka and that textbook. So it made a mashup. What if Yenka taught Japanese? I have the Discord channel as well, where I practice sometimes and also share things. Occasionally, I play a game or two. If I get access to a manga of interest in Japanese, I might try to study off of that. Dungeon Meshi, I did at one point. It was cool to take in the story that way. I have not actually read past the first 2 pages yet, though. I don't have the manga. I do know how to find them. My anime list sources things nicely. I might need to check VLC again. I have this tendency to try to push through things, which isn't always the best solution. Give me a moment. I needed to reset the presentation. It went up to 600 megabytes. Okay, let's try to keep going. In short, I do want to keep using the channels that I have. And I want to let myself enjoy manga more, and let myself be willing to find manga where I can. Physical versions would be cool, too. A few maybes would be to go on mic with a stream someday. I do have a bass EY voice, and this TTS doesn't reflect that in the slightest. So expect surprises even then, even after I've gotten good enough to hold a stream while talking. That said, I'll give myself time and I'll maybe hold off until a 3D model. And maybe VR hardware could be fun to add on. Sorry about the music, again. I know that I keep saying it, but I'm not very good at troubleshooting that. Okay, let me try something. If LibreOffice is taking so much, then I could capture directly from the editor instead. It's still stuttering, despite that, so it's not the presentation viewer. I'll try adjusting VTS POG. Hello, Breathe Spawn. The chance is good that it's just VTS POG doing too much. If LibreOffice was at fault, then VLC would have had trouble when I was doing CSP sessions or game sessions or anything else. I'll try to test it during Cobalt Core as well. But I might end up turning it off and leaving it with my usual chat dude sounds. I'm going to try to push through this, though. It might make for a tough VOD, so sorry about that, VOD watchers. But I am excited to share the rest of this now that I'm doing it already. I do want to try one more thing, though. What if VLC is having trouble, but not Firefox? If that's true, I could do a YouTube playlist. Hooah! Okay. Now VTS POG is getting pulled. This was a mistake, but I am glad that I made it. Okay, closing Firefox. That's not going to work with that resource use. Maybe I turn the music off and just talk? I don't know how I feel about that, but hopefully it's less grating. But as I was saying, I might go to a convention if I can. I need to choose which to go to, prepare myself for a lot in a lot of ways. So this is a major maybe, and probably won't happen quite this year. In the meantime, I'm simply keeping my eye on things and taking notes on what people mention. And eventually, I'll put it together and plan things out, once I'm ready. So there's quite a lot of possible things to do. During autumn, I went mental on my last university semester, between coursework, tutoring, and helping with a club. Now I want to make sure that I use my extra time well. And what helps me is also remembering my inspirations. Gifts. Monkus. Anyway, I have a lot here. Vinny was actually a first inspiration. He's the reason that I got onto Twitch to begin with. He's my first role model for streaming, too. He always seemed very relaxed in a very particular way. And I liked that, so I ended up taking a part of that on. Rev is also relaxed when you get to know him. He's willing to take on serious subjects, but still have fun. That said, it was mainly just Vinny at first, when I was first here. And then I did discover Rev, as well as Desert, Limes, Imakuni, and Jeff among others. Oh, he really has. He likes cursed videos quite a lot lately. Just last night, there was some weird one about feeding ducks in. I don't even know how to describe the rest. True, you can't get far without a screw or two loose. Or 5. Over time, I discover more streamers and expand horizons, so to speak. I could try to set up a gigantic chart or map of who I've met to trace my steps, but that alone could be an undertaking given how long that is. And as for Rev, I think that he understands that there's a very good distinction between staying informed and dooming. So I like hanging out with him. And thank you so much, Ruby. It was either Limes or Rev who raided into Luigi's stream one day. It's been so long that I don't remember for sure, but I have a feeling that Ruby modded for Limes, too. Is that right? And he loves indie games, he's personable, and he's a close friend at this point. Oh, I see, so I remembered well. Carrot. And you also do art and know a good amount of technomancy, too. So you all should definitely take a look at what he does, chat. Luigi's very cool. And I also discovered Nobab as a result of that. And Lunar Lux, a favorite game of mine, and I mean favorite when I say that. Nobab did a lot of research for their game and they love fan art. I am excited to see what they do next. I'm keeping an eye. And from Riza, I discovered Aki, a variety streamer as well. She's also personable, and very good at what she does. On top of that, she regularly gives opportunities to her community to do projects and activities. I joined her for weekly movie nights for a while. I saw a lot of good classics that way. The first Indiana Jones movie, I watched with her. I saw Cars again as well. I still don't get much into Discord group things, but I might want to in the future. So maybe I need to actually explore more where my usual circles are. Because there's a lot that I can easily miss. As for projects, I even have a tentative commission from her, not to mention a contest that she's running. I'll tell you more in the future, if I remember. On the VNL side, I first discovered those circles because I came across the artist Playas. It was through a chance sighting on a Twitch listing page. Their raids led me to Yokura, then to Poki and other VNL and VNL adjacent areas. Fun fact, Playas and Yokura are the reasons that I discovered Clip Studio Paint. I would go on to dodge a bullet choosing CSP over Adobe. Adobe Gurgitate, if you're into clever ways to indicate your displeasure. I also found Yokura at around the same time. She's an excellent artist, and one of the first that I've met. She regularly posts cool things even now, which are fun to see. Poki herself is a community game streamer and artist. She's a role model for community interaction. I met Pahi relatively recently, through Yokura introducing me to them. Pahi is a serious fan of retro doujin things, and regularly discovers fascinating obscure games and ancient hardware. They're excited to share and talk about manga and anime, too. That's very valuable to somebody like myself. So lots of things from lots of people are my inspirations. I might have even more, but there's simply too many to remember in a given moment. Those ones tend to come most to mind most often. It's because of cool people like these that I was inspired to give streaming a try. I did my research for upwards of a few weeks. And on September 27, 2019, I did my very first, Super Scuffed, stream. The rest is history, but I'll try not to yap for too long outside of the scope of the presentation. Especially because of the technical issues, hehehe. There's that deadpan laugh that I was telling you about. That's important to remember as much as I can, because it helps me keep my goals in focus. Reasons that I stream, projects aside. For myself, to have something to do. to have some structure to what I do, so art streams are nice for me. To give myself a channel to interact with the world a little bit more. I've probably said this before at some point, but I come from an alone in a crowd kind of background. And to have fun with what I do. I like sharing games and art with people. And then for others, to also have a fun space for games and art. Akin at least at first to what Vinny does with his variety gaming. Assuming that I'm skilled and equipped, which sometimes isn't always the case. Which is usually okay. We still have fun here. And you know what goes into a stream. You must have that scuff. But on the note of shared interests, I think that I've been aiming towards indie games and Toho, on the fun side of things. On the other hand, I'm analytical, and I have a background studying lots of things. So I know how to research, and consequently, I like discoveries. I like people learning. So I want to make a strong community around those two things. We have fun here, we learn here. I wouldn't dare consider myself a master at it. And I'm not fully aware even now of what niche I'm in or could go into entirely. But I'll do the best that I can with what I know so far. That's essentially where I want to go with all of this. That's why I work continuously on things. And why I'm willing to try things even if they're odd or break or sometimes unfamiliar. So I want to be that person, is what I mean to say. Bring hope, bring fun, and bring a cool place for people. And if I do have fun with games and art and other people have fun, then I'll feel like I've succeeded on that front. So I'm very excited for this year. As always, thank you all for the support. I'll probably slide music into the video later when I'm uploading the recording. So that it's not quite so rough at this half to watch later. But as I was saying, I do appreciate chat members, lurkers, and VOD watchers. I appreciate subs, Ko-Fi donators, and non-subs alike. As I've mentioned in the past, streaming has done a lot for me. It helps me keep doing things. It keeps me connected to a world that matters. A world where I feel like and hope that I'm making a difference in. Thank you so much. Suffice to say, it's definitely better than the alternatives. I finished university last semester, so there's lots of time for me to focus into things here. That said, I know that things can be rough at times, perhaps more so for others than me. So because of that, I do want to make this a place where people are informed, but feel welcome and safe. And again, we have fun here. Given where I am and what I have planned, though, I'm looking forward to the year. So let's have some fun tonight. I'll take a BRB here, and I'll put the playlist back on. And I'm thinking that I'll try the TTS with Cobalt Core. I don't expect it to work, but it's for science and I can just switch off right away. We have fun here, and we also do science here. Anyway, stay around. I'll be back in a few minutes, after, let's say, one song.